Hi everyone, welcome to Safety Pilot. This is Caleb with another video in the VFR Pilot Foreflight series. Today we're going to talk about how to take a VFR flight path like this and make it straight, all following the same magnetic course while still having VFR checkpoints that we can use for pilotage and dead reckoning. The first thing I'm going to do in this video before I even start looking at any flight paths is make sure that I do not have wind data. The reason I'm doing that is because then if we open up our flight plan and go to the nav log, we can look at the heading column right now will change to a course column, and that's going to be very beneficial to us. So what we can do to disable wind data is either go somewhere where we don't have internet, or we can just set our time of departure to really, really far in the future. Oops, not now, close. Now we get a warning saying we don't have wind data. If we go to nav log, we have course information instead of heading information. So now if I'm looking at this course for my route here, which I've enabled bad route, we can see that I've tried as well as I could to move these around and get a straight route. But if I look at my course information, I can see that they are still off by 1 to 2 degrees. Okay, so now we're going to delete this route, plot a new route, and I'll show you how we can make it all straight while following one path, and then we can also take our waypoints and save them and create reusable VFR waypoints just like we would do with a paper nav log. Okay, I've gone ahead and deleted that old route, and all I've done now is plotted a direct route from Flying Cloud Airport just west of Minneapolis up to St. Cloud to the northwest. The next thing I want to do is figure out what the magnetic course is of that line. I can do that with my flight plan, go to navlog, and see that my course here is 330 degrees magnetic. Again, if we had left it in with wind information, it would be adjusting that to give you a heading. Another way we can do that is by just pinching and dragging and measuring the line. We're actually going to do that now, because what we're going to do is now pick our first VFR waypoint. I like this point right here, this seaplane base, that anchor right on the northwest side of Lake Minnetonka. Let's choose that. What we're going to do now is pinch with 2 fingers and hold them down and measure along our course from Flying Cloud Airport to our anchor. We see here that it's a 331 degree magnetic. We know the course is actually 330, so we'll stick with 330, and about 8.5 nautical miles. Okay, to add that point, we're going to open up our flight plan, go to the edit page, we'll click Flying Cloud Airport, we'll click Insert After, and then we're going to type in the airport we measured from, Flying Cloud in this case. Then we'll add a /, we'll type in that magnetic course, another /, and now the distance we're measuring across. We'll do 8.4 in this case. Now a little side note here, if we were just doing a full number like 8 or 9 or 10 nautical miles, we actually don't need the /. So that's just a little shortcut if you're ever doing whole numbers. Now we see we get that point added in there right along route, just so we want it. If we look at our nav log here, we see we get 330 degrees, and it goes 329 for the next one. That's just because Foreflight is so accurate that it's rounding. Okay, so we can do this along the route. We can add other routes. Maybe we add Loretto for the next one. In that case, we would do we would measure the distance. Let's check it here. Looks like it's about 16 nautical miles. So we'll add another point by clicking on our point we just made, insert after, and we'll do KFCM /. Actually, I'll show you the example without the /. We'll do 330 and then 16 because we're doing a full number, no decimal. And we see we get a point here. Maybe we wanted 16.2 or so to get right over the airport, but that's fine. So now we have 2 points added in. We can go along the whole route here, just adding farther distances all the way. We can even start from St. Cloud and measure the opposite direction. We just want to make sure that we have the reciprocal angle, so 150 degrees instead of 330 degrees if we're measuring from St. Cloud. Okay, once we've done all that, we'll have our route set, and we can talk about saving these and renaming them so they're easier to use. Okay, I've removed that second waypoint. We're looking right now just at KFCM 330 8.4 over that seaplane base. Let's say we want to save this waypoint because maybe we want to do this route more often, or we want to use this VFR waypoint for another route going another direction. What we can do is click on the point, click Save by the GPS coordinates, and now it's going to let us set a name for it. Let's call it Lake. We can't do spaces, but we can do the underscore. So we'll do underscore, and then we'll call it Lake M because I don't feel like typing out Minnetonka right now. Now it's labeled as Lake M. It's also toggled on all my VFR waypoints here, so we can see any other VFR waypoint I've made before is showing up. I can toggle that by in the top left of Foreflight pressing the layers, scrolling down here on the right, and turning waypoints on or off. The nice thing about VFR waypoints is that what I can do is open up my thing here. I can remove this, and what I can do is click KFCM, insert after, and in the future, instead of typing in that FCM 330 stuff, I can just type in lake underscore M, and it saved it and it remembers it, so it adds it to the route. That's fantastic. Another thing I can do is I can turn on my user waypoints, and I can just click Lake M, and it's just like a regular waypoint here. Maybe I need to zoom in a little. Click Lake M, and I can add to route. And now I'll rearrange here so it's in the right order. But now we've added that, just like we would add another, like a VOR or some other nav aid, it's now added along the route. And we can see, I've saved a route here called Great Route, that I can create all these waypoints and then I can add them into my VFR flight plan. And I could use this now to fill out a paper nav log. If you look at my nav log here, I've got the courses here. They're all super nice and straight. The flight looks straight. I've got all the VFR names. And this is set up really well to transition either from flying, doing pilotage and dead reckoning, or directly into a paper nav log. I can just port this all over very, very quickly. It does all the math for me. All right, I'm going to end this video here. If you want to see more videos about how to do flight planning in Foreflight, if you want to see videos about where to find things in different areas and take full advantage of Foreflight, check out the other videos in the VFR Pilot series. Thank you again for watching, and have a fantastic day.